I'm seeing good signs that trucking's picking up. Do you see the good signs?
Twizted.
So I see signs by talking to my people on Discord. I talk to my guys on Discord, and they are telling me that hey, we're starting to see pre-plans, which we weren't seeing when the freight was kind of a little bit slower. We're seeing the pre-plans now. It's looking good. Instead of waiting a day between a load or waiting several hours between a load, we're kind of getting more loads back to back, and that's a good sign. That means that it's kind of starting to pick up. I'm hoping the rest of the year is just going to pick up and pick up and pick up, and we're going to move on through that hard time that we went through at the beginning of the year and finish off the rest of the year strong. I'm also seeing, I saw some stuff on Facebook, which is a horrible place to go for information. I don't like Facebook. It's just full of a bunch of trolls, and it's just not good. It's not a good place to find information. But I seen on Facebook today that there was a hiring freeze at Prime. So I got with my recruiter and I said, "Hey, is there a hiring freeze that I don't know about?" And my recruiter says there's not a hiring freeze, and the class sizes are starting to get bigger. Like I see it myself, that the class sizes are getting bigger. So that means that the trucking is kind of picking up in my book, because that's kind of how I judge it. Are we bringing in a lot of students, or are we just bringing in a few? During the slow time, we're only bringing in a few. When you go look at the long-term parking lot and it's getting empty, that's a good sign that trucking is kind of struggling. If you go look at say you go to the Millennium and there's empty spots all over it, you know, trucking is kind of not doing the best that it could. Like that's some of the main places I check. I check the training department, I check long-term parking up there on the hill, and I check parking around the Millennium. Now, whenever trucking is doing awesome, and like last year it was doing awesome, I wouldn't even go anywhere around the Millennium because I knew that there wasn't going to be nowhere to park. I knew I couldn't get in the shop. I knew that I was going to have issues with a lot of stuff. Well, whenever freight slowed down, and you could go park at the Millennium pretty easy. There wasn't no way to get into the shop. I mean, you had a lot of freedom right there. Like people were not there. There wasn't as many people there. And that's how I kind of keep an eye on if trucking's doing good or not. Also, we have that great community in the Discord. We have like a mentoring program, is what I like to look at it as. So it's not going to be that bad information that you see out there on like Facebook with the trolls and all that stuff. It is a great community of mentors, and they're mentoring each other, they're helping each other, and they're trying to help the new guys become better. We want everyone to make as much as they can in the trucking industry, and it's a great place to get some good knowledge. Now, just be aware that whenever you come into it, if you're making a bad decision, somebody's going to tell you, "Hey, look, I know why you're doing that, but the thing is, this would work a lot better." Now, you got to be open to that criticism and be open to, like, hey, you know what? I need to look back at myself and see if I'm doing right for my business or my trucking career. Like, I got to make sure that I'm making good decisions. And with the amount of people that we have in there just helping each other out, they are taking care of any problems. Like if we have some great moderators that will go in there and monitor the chat and stuff. That way, if we have somebody in there causing problems or being a bad influence, we can get rid of them and just keep it like helping people out. The ultimate goal here in the Discord is just a bunch of truck drivers helping truck drivers out. And whenever we give our knowledge to somebody in the Discord, whenever you become the experienced driver and you have all that knowledge, pass it on to the next guy in the Discord. So if you're missing out on the Discord, you need to get into it because there's a lot of great people on there. Trucking looks like it's on the up and up. So that's what I'm looking at right now, and I'm positive that it's picking up. Don't hesitate to put your applications in. Do not hesitate. So, whenever trucking does slow down, they limit the class sizes. So, if you put in an application, you might have to wait 3 or 4 weeks. Some of you guys y'all planned on coming trucking, you put in your 2 weeks notice, you put in your application, the recruiter says, hey, we can't get you here until a class 4 weeks from now. And you're all like, oh no, what am I going to do? I already put in my 2 weeks notice. Call that recruiter before you do anything. Call that recruiter just at least to make sure that you're eligible to get the job here at Prime. Make sure that you tell them everything that's on your criminal background record, job history, stuff like that. Ask that recruiter a lot of questions. Get in that application in there to a recruiter. Having a recruiter look over it is going to be one of the biggest steps to finding out if you're even eligible. So get that ball rolling. Don't hesitate. I've been noticing that a lot of people that were coming in we'll say at the end of the month, their classes have been moved up. I guess that there was more spots. They were allowed to hire more people each week. So they moved into those spots. Or maybe some people just canceled and said, you know what, I'm not coming in that week. So they made a spot available for the next guy to get moved up a day, or a week. So I think that stuff's looking good, and we're on a turnaround right here. I'm being positive that we're on a turnaround right here, and trucking is coming back in full swing, and it's time to make that money. Remember, knowledge is power. Like, comment, and subscribe.